Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from City Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of the Professor's Picks alongside the Professor himself, Mr. Ken Golden of the Laser's Edge,
Hey,
also of In the Prog Seats. And he's here with more new
yeah,
stuff for you today on this Friday.
not a lot this
Not a
week.
lot this week. Well, we've had a busy
So
couple of weeks, right? So, yeah.
I've said in the past, there's going to be some weeks which kind of suck. This week sucks.
All right.
So very, very little. So I don't want to waste people's time. Like, if we don't have anything to say, we're not going to say anything. So, it's just going to be real brief.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, almost. It's pretty close to that. So let's get there's a few things to talk about. Let's get the pre-order out of the way. This one,
You got Tala's attention. She's very curious.
absolutely.
She's a big Prog fan, so
Most important. There you go. So this one fell out of the sky this morning. I didn't even know this was happening. This is the new one from Deep Purple. New album called, I think it's called Equal One. And this is now with Simon McBride on guitar.
Yep.
We'll see how a guy playing a Les Paul fits in with Deep Purple. He was the guitarist in Snake Charmer, all the guys from Whitesnake.
Yep. Good
So I think he's Steve Morse approved.
He is. Yes, he
if
is.
I'm not mistaken.
He
So
is.
there's some different versions of it. There's a plain old CD. There's a CD DVD, I believe, which I think has like making of video and stuff. That's in a digipack. And we get a 2 LP black vinyl, and to entice you all, we have the limited edition purple vinyl.
All of them housed within what is probably the most dull and unimaginative album cover you're likely to see this year.
They have seemed to be sparing all expense on graphics for the last few.
I love the band, but man, I saw that album cover and I'm like, Jesus, you gotta be kidding me.
Well,
Maybe it's inspired by the recent Toho film Godzilla -1. This is Deep Purple equals
Equal One.
I
I don't know. And also I remember the cover for Now What. That was awful too.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Wasn't much different than this.
No, maybe slightly better.
By the same graphic designer.
Yeah.
So anyway, I forget the street date on that. I think it's in July, maybe 12th. I don't remember. Evergrey, Theories of Emptiness. I was supposed to write all this down, the street dates. I didn't. So Evergrey have a new album and a new CD, and I'm surprised it's a single CD. So it's not a double.
And see, that's a very different album cover for them. That's not at all like what we're used to with them.
Yeah, it's yes, and it's okay. It's not the traditional. Well, I'm stalling for time while Safari loads so I could look up the street dates. The Safari's not. There we go. I'll tell you in 2 seconds. So Evergrey Streets on June 7th.
Oh,
and just to backtrack, Deep Purple Streets on July 19th. Okay. Next one we have, God help me to pronounce this. This is the new one from Kaipa. I'm going to try and pronounce it. It's one long word called Somagringensigist. I'm not making that up. Yeah, SOMMARGYNINGSIJUS.
I give up.
It's a nice looking cover.
It is.
We're
all just going to call it Summer for short.
Yeah.
You got Kaipa Summer? You got Summer Kaipa?
Yeah. I don't know what that. It's like Summer Cunnilingus or something. I don't know. We got a CD. There's going to be a CD media book. There's going to be 2 LP black vinyl, and it's coming out June 28th.
What label is that? Is that Inside Out?
Inside Out. Yeah. So if people are unaware, Kaipa was the band that Ron Stolt was in originally.
Yep.
And they made 3 great records, symphonic prog albums, sounded like Genesis with Swedish vocals in the 70s. I think Roine was like 16 years old at the time.
Yeah.
And then they made, I think, a couple albums. I think he bailed. Not sure.
I think he did the first two reunion ones, and then he left. I think
yeah.
2. Yeah.
They made, but after those first 3 albums, they made 2 like shitty records, and then they, commercial records, and then when they reformed, he was in the main guy is Hans London. He's the keyboard player. And so this is his version of the band. And it kind of harkens back to the old, the old it's symphonic prog, It's got a little bit of a folk element to it. That was kind of his thing. Hans London had some nice solo stuff as well. Okay, we had these up for pre-order at one point, and now they're in stock. We've got the new one from Oh. It's called Two Frailty, their second album. So we have that on CD and vinyl. Then we got the new 6x6 Beyond Shadowland. That one is also on CD and vinyl. And so that's it for like new releases and pre-orders. The other thing, a couple other things I just want to talk about. The Camel Box Set, finally, this is the repress, is finally in transit to us. And we were taking pre-orders for quite a long time, and Universal is playing games with the street date. So what I've done is I've ordered some extra copies. It's so expensive. I can't go crazy on inventory, but the distributor has inventory on it. So I have coming in some spare copies. So you could treat it as it's a pre-order in essence, but it's gonna, as soon as it's in next week, it'll be here at the beginning of next week. Then we're gonna, go totally live. But it's and shipped, but it's on the website right now as a pre-order. So and there's a handful available. And if I get overwhelmed, I'll bring over another shipment. But I just can't, it's given the cost, I can't have a stock room full of these things.
Seems like this saga, the story of this box set has been ongoing for months.
Universal really, they really kind of screwed this whole thing up. They completely underestimated the demand for it. And then when it was time to redo it, originally they were talking about February, then it got pushed into March, then it was supposed to be in April, and now, next Friday. It's supposed to be next Friday. So they shipped out of the Netherlands to us. And as soon as they, FedEx willing, when they get here, they're going to go right out the door. And as I said, we just have a few empty slots left. So if somebody wants it, jump on it. And the last thing I want to mention this week is I'll do a little show and tell, and I'm going to shut Prezi down for this. Because Prezi, I don't like Prezi today. It's not helping me. It's not my friend. Jim and I were going through a lot of the vinyl Overstock stuff that great titles. Some of these titles have just been sitting here forever. So we have a little section on the front of the site of vinyl Overstocks that we marked down. We put into final clearance. I just want to show some of these things to give people a sense of what we got. It's all over the map. It's prog rock, old stuff, new stuff. It's metal. It's everything. Stuff like Amos Key, great German prog like ELP. Joe's going to get pissed at me because I'm going to mix everything up. Miller Anderson. This was on Darren Brick. Great guitar player. Great album. Rare. Here's a rare finish one. Apollo. Like an original copy of Apollo was like $10 billion. So here's one. I think you may. I don't even know what the hell this is. Contrapoint, France. Oh, can we show that cover? I didn't know we could show that.
Yeah. Quickly. There you go. The censors won't catch it.
Do you have this? Did I give this CD? Get the CD? Frank Commando Trio?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, guy's great. He was from Pittsburgh. Unbelievable keyboard player. And he like went fusion. To me, it sounds like ELP on acid. It's crazy on organ. Dias Array, rare French stuff. This is all great stuff. Drosselbart. This was, rare brain stuff. Epsilon. A lot of krautrock, French, ex magma. Don't you want to buy a turntable watching all this stuff? I know it. Good Italian band, Intergranaghi della Valle, Joy Unlimited, some fusion, Mickey Kosikin Orchestra on Spart, live stuff. This is great from Texas, Spiritual Jazz, The Lightmen. These albums are insane with Bubba Thomas and The Lightmen. Nova, finished prog. It's just tons of stuff. And some of these titles that have been sitting here for like 8 years, and we're down to like the last copy. And
Don't wait to work.
yeah, don't wait, because a lot of these we literally have one copy. And when this video goes live, there's going to be a lot of people jumping on it. There's others. I don't want to bring the whole stack over, and we just keep adding to it. So it's on the front of the site. Down towards the bottom, you'll see a section for vinyl overstocks. Good stuff. You should hit it.
Take advantage, right?
Take
Get 'em while
advantage.
it's still there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a shame. Like, something like this, I did very well with it when it came out. And then you're down to the one copy and it just sits on the shelf. It's like, you got to move it out after a while.
Yeah, I hear it.
So that's what it
room,
is.
Make
That's-
room for the new stuff, right? Out with the old, in with the new.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of stuff in transit to us. Next week, hopefully, there'll be some really cool things. And yeah, I've got some really, if it's not this week, it'll be the week after. I got some really good cheap shit coming. So some new cheap shit. And I know next week there's going to be some good, some real good stuff in transit to us that's going to hit early next week. So that's it. I'm sorry it's kind of a shitty week, but this is what it is. It's one of those ones.
Got a few things anyway. That's okay. So
Yeah.
we'll have all of these listed down below, pinned in the comments section, as well as the link over at lasercd.com. So remember, buy lots, buy often. That is the motto.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week here on the Professor's Picks. Let's see, tune in. What do we got coming up here on the channel? Tune in tomorrow. We've got the review crew, Jamie Laszlo and company, reviewing a whole bunch of new CDs. So stay tuned for that, speaking of new stuff. And then on Sunday, I will be ranking the albums of Steve Vai. So that's coming up on Sunday morning. So yeah, that and lots more here on the channel. This is on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell to get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Thanks a lot. LaserCD.com is the place to go. For Ken Golden, I'm Pete Pardo. See you next week here on the Professor's Picks. Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks.